Greetings, one and all, to the Awaken to Ascend YouTube channel. It's an overcast day here in the Bay. My favorite type of weather, once in a while. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining us here. If you haven't already, be sure to check out the website, awakentoascend.com. It's going to be a place to find blog posts that I'm writing. Also, my services, which is a 30-minute or 60-minute phone call, where we chat, where we pull cards, where we do whatever. I just guarantee that we're both gonna be in a higher vibration once it's over. That's my intention with these phone calls. So check that out, awakentoascend.com. All right, let's get into today's topic. I wanna share a story with you about my time on the homestead. It's story time, folks. This is my favorite story, in fact, from homestead living, because it taught me so much. My twin flame, Tara, and I manifested a homestead, 40 acres on top of a hill in the wilderness. And one of our favorite things to do while up there was to wander around the wilderness. Just wander aimlessly. Maybe sometimes not so aimlessly, but just go into the forest and have fun. Now, this is just pure wilderness, but there's homesteads sprinkled all throughout. And every one of these homesteads got dogs that defend their property. So we always arm ourselves with something, whether it's pepper spray or a knife. In this case, we both had guns. I had my CZ P01, my everyday carry, my little guy. I believe Tara had a .44 revolver, the big guy. And so we were well equipped. And we were just wandering through the forest, happy as clams. I don't know if clams really feel that happy, but we're very happy, and we're wandering around. We're on a road, a public road. I didn't hear them coming, but two dogs snuck up on us. They were stalking us. They were so sneaky and so skullduggery like. They're versed in the art of skullduggery because they snuck up on us. Usually dogs will bark, bark, bark. Here I am, here I am, here I am. Not these two. These are two dogs clearly in cahoots. There was a bigger one and a smaller one. They weren't big dogs by any stretch of the imagination, but they were big enough that you don't want them to bite you. No. So you could tell that the bigger dog was kind of the ringleader. The other dog was like looking to him for confirmation of things. The big dog staring right at me. Tara's standing a little behind me. I'm standing in front of her, and I pull my gun out. I have it at the low ready position. The last thing I want to do is shoot a dog. I mean, that's crazy. It's more for noise than anything else. But if by some chance some dog wants to bite me, I got it. So I pull it out, keep it at low ready. The first dog charges, teeth bared. It's time to bite. He got about halfway. He closed the gap about halfway and then turned around and ran, scared. I'm like, okay, that dog's no threat. But you could tell like the two dogs are communicating, and the bigger dog sent in the little dog. Said, no, you go get him. So I'm standing there with the gun, and this second dog, the smaller dog, starts charging me. And he's got his teeth bared. And this dog is not turning around. He's kind of like trying to prove his worth to the bigger dog. And I fully believe he wants to bite me. I felt it. I felt it in my heart. So I squeeze this gun really tight. I'm ready to shoot this thing. I put my finger on the trigger. And this dog is closing the gap so fast that I don't know if I'm going to have time for any kind of warning shot. I try to speak to the dog as he's charging. So I'm telling this dog with my voice, I'm telling him, don't do it. Don't do it. I am pretty much prepared to pull the trigger at this point. This dog gets inches away from me. Inches. And I start putting pressure on the trigger a little bit. And at the very last second, one more step, he could have bitten me probably. The dog stops and turns around and runs away in fear. And Tara's just standing behind me the whole time. No gun drawn. Just her meat sack protection in front of her. Maybe that was a sign I should have looked into. But anyway, So we just scurry off. The dogs go their direction, we go our direction. And that was the end of the interaction. But not for me, because I break down everything. Everything that happens in my life, I kind of go deeper into it. And I thought about it. It's like, how did I diffuse that situation? Sure, I sent telepathic messages to the dog that he was going to die. I do remember sending out a vision of him getting shot. So maybe that had something to do with it. But when I really go deep into it, when I look into it, the reason I didn't get bit that day was because I didn't show any fear. Those dogs were looking to see if I showed any fear. And I'm 100% that if I was oozing fear out of my pores, I would have gotten bitten that day. I feel it strongly. The reason I didn't have any fear pouring out of me was because I had a gun in my hand. I didn't want to use it. I didn't think I would use it. But just having it there changed my energy drastically, from fear to confidence. Because of that gun, I had confidence. I had no fear, and the dogs had to react to my energy. In that moment, I was the alpha dog. I wasn't backing down. I didn't back down an inch. I just stood there, and they felt that. And that's why when push came to shove, they didn't want to bite me, because I was more badass than they are. But without that gun, things would have gone differently. I would have been pretty scared. It's like, do I have to wrestle a dog with my hands now? This is gonna suck. So what does that tell us? What is the lesson here? How does this work with spirituality? The people, the places, the things that you have in your energetic reality have a very large impact on you. And I don't think most people realize it. Right? If an inanimate object such as a gun could change my energy so drastically, well, what is a person going to do? Or a place? The place that we put our energy affects our energy. Everything's a co-creation. So let's say you live in a city and you're surrounded by EMFs, you're surrounded by people in ego, you're surrounded by traffic, cars everywhere, smog, noise. That's going to have a pretty large effect on your energy, your vibrational frequency. Let's say you're with a person who brings your energy down. Well, you stay with that person for years and years and years. What's the end result going to be 10 years from now? It's subtle, and we don't notice it. I've been working with guns for a long time now, but until that incident, I had no idea the power of a gun, how it could change my energy. I had no clue. So I think this is a good lesson for all of us, to be more aware, to be more focused on what energies we're allowing into our fields, into our realities. Are they serving us? Are they boosting us up? Are they bringing us down? Are we giving too much of our power away to them? Because when you look at a higher perspective, I didn't need a gun to feel no fear. I just needed to not feel the fear, to choose not to. So it's a very complex issue. We're all putting our power outside of ourselves in some way. And this story is kind of a lesson to be more cognizant of how we're doing it. I mean, it's not a fun story. I wasn't going to shoot the dog. Let's be real. I was definitely prepared to shoot at it for him to hear the gunshot. But in retrospect, man, I should have moved faster. In retrospect, I should have shot a warning shot earlier. I just didn't want to alert the neighbor who owned the dogs. But, that's better than getting bitten by 2 dogs. So, no, that story was great. I learned a lot about myself, about energy, and how it affects us, and how we're co-creating with everything in our reality, no matter what it is. It's all having an effect on us. So we got to be more aware, and we got to be more vigilant about what these energies are doing to us and whether we want them. All right, well, I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this hike. Look at the, not smog, it's fog. I was gonna say smog. Look at the fog over 280 over there. Ocean's out that way beyond the hills. And we got the peninsula over here. Yeah, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. So, comments, love comments. Tell me what you thought about the story. Tell me how you feel like energies are affecting you. And if you have a similar experience where an object or a person changed the energy of a situation, I'd love to hear that story in the comment section. So let's just engage. And yeah, that'll do it for me today. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And of course, check out the website because that's the place to be. All right, guys. Peace.